Understand the difference between role and dependency. In my vocabulary, there's a distinction.
That's great to know.
Right. So tell me about why they're dependent on each other.
So in that sense, they're dependent, in the sense that the Father is dependent on the Son to judge, because that is the responsibility of the Son to make that judgment. Did you get that?
Instead of getting roles, let me help you what I mean by dependency.
Okay.
Was Jesus in any way, shape or form dependent for his own existence on the Father?
Only when he was down here.
Yeah, when he was a human.
Okay,
as human.
So let me even go back.
Apart
Before
from
the
that, I don't believe.
okay.
No,
Before the universe was created.
Yeah.
Before the universe was created, so there is no universe.
Yeah.
There is no earth.
Yeah.
There is no human being. At that point, was Jesus Christ in any way, form or shape, dependent on the Father for his own existence?
No.
So he's independent of the Father for his own existence.
You can't have it both ways.
He's part of an equal God, so he's part of God's makeup. So I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Let me explain to you again.
Part of God's makeup.
I am dependent on God for my own existence. God gave me life and brought me into this existence.
Yeah.
If God did not do that, I would not exist. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Before the universe was created.
Always existed.
So before the universe was created.
Not created.
Before the universe was created.
Yeah.
Was he dependent on the Father for his own existence?
Well, it's like, he's part of an equal God. So they are dependent.
Very serious
like
question.
You're dependent on your heart to beat.
But not on his existence.
So it's like we are mind, body, and spirit. Your mind could think, I ought to be doing this. Your body could be thinking, I'd rather not do that. So we are three in one. We are even our makeup.
So was Jesus dependent on the Father for his existence or independent of him?
Neither.
You can't have neither.
He's part of his makeup.
It has to be one of them.
Actually, he doesn't because he's part of his makeup.
No, you can't have that way. You
part of
can't.
his
It's
makeup.
only one or the other. You can't have. You can't have neither.
No.
No.
I think you can.
Okay, tell me how.
It would be a paradox if you
Because
said.
it's part of his makeup. It's part of Jesus is part of God's makeup. Jesus is part
Okay,
of God's
Mansur,
makeup.
let's ask you this question. Do you believe Jesus can speak of his own?
Can speak
Of his own?
of his own.
Yeah.
What do you mean of his own?
Means like the way you're speaking without anyone telling you what to say. Can Jesus do that?
Could do.
Wait, let me ask.
Yeah, so yes, because
Yes?
they are three in one, but they are
Because Jesus
also
says,
three
everything I
persons in
say
one.
is what I hear from the Father. I by myself cannot say anything.
When he was down here, he said that, but I don't believe that.
But you said he was 100% God.
Not when he was down here. He was only God in nature, 100% in nature. Yeah, 100% in nature. But he was completely dependent on God when he
Yeah,
was
but
down
speaking
here.
is nature.
He was completely dependent on God. No. When I say
How can
nature,
100%
I'm
God be
talking,
dependent
when
on
I say
God?
nature, I'm talking about character. Jesus he was fully loving in character, but he left his power behind, he left his knowledge behind, and he became fully human.
By the way, knowledge is not character, knowledge is also nature. You need
Well,
to
I don't
really-
agree. I don't
Look,
agree.
either go and look at the word.
Well, we disagree then.
Wait. When you say knowledge,
Yeah.
yes, knowledge is not your nature. It is something you acquire as a human being. Do you agree? On the other hand, God always has knowledge. So it's part of his nature. You cannot say it's something he acquires.
Is his knowledge perfect?
Your character you acquire, your knowledge you acquire. But in the case of in the case of God Almighty,
Yeah.
it is part of his nature. Same thing with immortality.
Don't agree.
Immortality is where
I
you do
don't
not.
agree. When Jesus came to earth, he was fully human, fully God in nature, but he left his power behind, he left his knowledge behind.
So he wasn't fully God then?
Okay, in that case, we
Yeah,
have
he
to
was,
really
yeah.
ask her, what is the meaning when you say Jesus was fully God in his nature on earth? What do you understand?
Fully
by
God. You said he left something, then he wasn't fully God.
that? No, because I want to know which is the 100% nature of God that he has when he's on
So
earth.
now you believe he wasn't fully God. Because fully God
fully
means
God in nature.
all knowledgeable.
Fully God in nature, but he chose to come down here as a human.
If he comes down here not knowing the hour, then he's not fully God, is he? In his nature.
Comes down here not knowing,
When the hour is going to be established, the end of the world,
no one knows except Father.
then
Yeah.
he is not
Yeah.
fully God then.
But when he goes back to the Father, he now knows,
before
he
you go
knows,
back-
he knows the
Okay,
time.
the problem with that statement.
These
can I just
33
explain that?
years of this ministry,
The problem with that statement is at the time when Jesus said that he did not know, only the Father knows.
Mark 13:32.
When we go to
was he
Revelation,
correct in saying that?
Can I just explain that? So in Revelation, what that talks about is that God was going to establish the date of Jesus' return.
Yeah.
And he was dependent on certain things of mankind to take place.
No problem.
So at that time, God had not established that date.
Well, he has established that day.
That date is still to be established.
When he says God, which God?
Because,
What do you mean
because
God? You mean the Father?
is waiting upon certain human events, and that's what's explained in
Father
Revelation.
doesn't know the future already.
So you agree that the Father knows, Jesus didn't know at that time. You're saying exactly
No,
what
he's saying
Mansur-
the Father doesn't know.
No, he does know, because what happens is this: is that the
Father
Father,
hasn't decided.
the Father will, because once those things take place, the Father will know, and when the Father knows, he will then relay it to Jesus.
No, but Jesus says only
So
the
at
Father
that-
knows. He
yeah.
already said it.
So at that
before,
time, yeah.
before
Did you understand
he
what he
already
said?
knew it. That's
The
completely
Father
different.
doesn't even know. Father doesn't know the future.
Well,
That's what he's saying.
I think
Father
there's a
doesn't know
cop out
the
from
future.
him.
So what happens there?
He knows it.
So the Father isn't God either.
but we
No,
don't.
no,
we
no,
don't-
Father is
no,
also
no,
ignorant.
no.
We don't actually know that.
No, no, no.
Jesus doesn't
The
know
Father
that. Hey,
doesn't-
we don't actually know that.
Did you
Jesus
hear
doesn't know
your
that.
friend
Yeah, I heard what he
said?
said.
And the
He
Father
said
doesn't
the Father
know.
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Knows.
But that's
He says Father doesn't know.
But
Yeah, I
the
know.
Revelation puts
He's
the
going against
context.
Jesus.
No, 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 no.
You are.
Okay.
Revelation
Before
puts
the
it in
universe was
context.
created,
22
does the Father know
refutes you.
everything that's going to
No, I
happen
don't
in the
agree.
future?
You've got to put it in context.
Says only the Father knows.
Who knows? I don't know if we know.
What does the
or
text
not.
say?
That you have to.
Is he all knowledgeable?
Yeah.
Then he knows the future already.
Yeah.
But Jesus
Right.
doesn't.
But Jesus says, I don't know. Only the Father knows. So he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know, okay.
He's human.
If you
In
are
fact, even the Holy
unknowledgeable to
Spirit
begin with, can you then be ignorant 5%?
So again, if you're.
If you are 100% knowledgeable,
Yeah.
can you then be 5% ignorant later?
He's not 100% knowledgeable. He's human. He's taken on human form.
If you are 100% knowledgeable to begin with, can you then be 5% ignorant later?
Yeah, because you're born into a human body down there.
So if you are 100% knowledgeable means that your knowledge is not perfect. Is that what you're saying? That you can become less than knowledgeable later?
If you become human down there, yeah. If you take on human form and you leave behind.
I'd have to leave you to reflect on this, because all knowledgeable of the present, past and future means there will be no time. See what I mean by...
Jesus fully said in Philippians, but you've got human.
Okay, let me explain. Imagine this is past.
So, you know.
Okay, this is
He
past,
doesn't have all knowledge. No.
past, present and future.
Yeah,
God knows all of this already.
yeah.
Is in his knowledge. Can he now forget what's here?
No.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know if God does know it.
Actually, let me explain something.
Oh, you
here.
don't know God's known everything.
So there's a slight flaw in what you're saying. There's a flaw.
In Islam, the alternative I'm offering you, the alternative, God is perfect in his nature. He's all knowledgeable, all wise, all powerful.
Immortal.
Yes? He doesn't die.
all loving.
All loving is from us.
Well, he's not
All
all loving,
merciful.
but he's not all loving. Because
Killing
he only
people.
loves believers.
I mean, this
But
really
anyway,
shows...
That's in the
Hang on.
Whom does God put
What
in
does
the
God
hellfire?
say about killing in the Quran?
Just asking you a question.
No, please,
answering your
please.
question.
What does Allah, God, say about killing in the Quran?
Surah 9:5 says, kill all those who don't believe.
Hold on to this.
Surah 9:5.
Surah 9:5 says kill who?
You've been listening to Jay Smith for a long time, I guess.
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, thank
from
you.
other places, actually.
Actually, very wise of you.
From a
Not
Muslim.
listening to him is good.
Yeah, so Surah 9:5, yeah.
Says what?
I don't know exactly, but it's along the lines of, kill those who don't believe.
Okay.
In the context of war.
Okay.
Surah 9:5, God says kill.
It can't be
Right?
context of
Kill
God.
who?
It says to all the
Those
world.
who don't convert.
Anyone in all the
We say all
world.
the world.
Yes, it does.
Get your glasses?
It does.
You put that in.
Have I
No,
got
no,
a
it's
bit blurry
definitely
as well? What, which verse?
Show me all the world.
no problem.
She'll read it now.
The thing is, though, I've read this before, and I know there's no context to Surah 9:5. I know
There is the context.
There is a
isn't-
context. There's
Just the
clearly a
verse
context.
before and the verse before and the verse before.
No,
Start from
no,
one.
No,
Okay, let me
Surah
tell you.
9, no, don't bother.
Why?
I will.
No, let me finish. I've spoken to loads of Muslims. 9:5 stands alone. It has no context.
I will give you
It
the
has no
context.
context. It doesn't.
One more
You're
time
lying
then for
to
you.
me. You're lying to me. It doesn't have-
I think it's always good to
9:5,
learn.
No.
Let's not close
You're
our
lying
minds.
to me. You're lying to me.
I haven't said anything.
I've checked this out with former Muslims. I've checked this out with a guy.
How about one
Former
more?
Muslims,
One
remember,
more.
not Muslims.
Just one more time.
Because you're not telling me.
So,
the
look, I haven't...
problem is,
Maybe
you
I should go
guys-
and ask Mormons about the born again
you guys
Christians.
can lie to me.
I find
part
it,
of Islam.
I find it very strange
How can I do that?
that Islam is the epitome where there is no lying in this religion. And you're now saying you can lie to me?
It's actually there in the hadith that you can lie to me.
Allah is the
It's actually
greatest
there.
of
It's
deceivers.
actually there. Absolutely there.
Here is-
No,
That's a
you
lie
are
to me.
lying to me.
None of the Quran translations say that.
So
Stop
far,
lying, Mark.
so far, you have been
Stop-
using
stop
your
lying.
intelligence,
100% does.
but suddenly you switch to an emotional
Shall I
mode.
show you the deception of your God?
I'm
Right.
using my intelligence.
Show you the
Good.
I have spoken to many Muslims. I know that I know.
Exactly.
Sure.
It's the third
How
stage
about-
that he had. The first stage is lying.
That's worse than
He
lying.
had. The third stage that he had is Surah
Would
9:5.
you just spare 2 minutes to understand the context whether it
I've had
exists
it
or not?
explained to me lots of times.
And
But
I will
I'm-
demonstrate to you now, God willing, I will demonstrate to you that you have not read the context which is so obvious
hang on.
from verse
Before
1.
you go on, it depends on me believing you're not lying to me.
You read it yourself.
I know what it says. I know what it says.
What does it say from
I know
verse
what
1?
it says, but I know Surah 9:5 stands alone.
Excuse me.
I know Surah 9:5
Okay,
stands
fine.
alone.
Because
I
somebody's
know
told you
that
so?
you're lying to me because many Muslims
Excuse me.
have told me.
Now,
I've read a PhD.
do I have the honor and integrity
Ex-Muslim? Did you say
and
ex-Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what earlier you said? Listen.
Okay.
Listen, I have an ex-Christian, he's called Bob Ehrman, and he said everything you said about small differences in the manuscript, he said the complete opposite of what you said, Julie. So I'm saying you're lying.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, using your own
No,
logic.
it does not say that.
I can bring you the evidence if you
because
want.
you insulted my
Bob Ehrman was an
honor.
ex-Christian.
You insulted my honor that you called I'm lying. Now allow me to defend my honor.
I've had it defended
At
many
least
times.
be kind enough
I've
to.
had
No.
it-
You insulted me, my honor of
Okay.
being a truthful person.
Okay, so I'll tell-
give me
Okay.
the kindness
Okay.
to respond to you
Okay, hang on.
of the accusation that
Hang
you've
on.
made of my character.
Okay, so I'll tell you what the context is.
Go
Okay?
about
No, I don't want you to
I'll
tell me
you what
right
the
now.
context-
I will want you to
context-
read from verse 1
I don't
to
want to
5.
read it. The context is that you guys were saying that a treaty was broken, and that is why those people were killed.
Oh, so
Am
now
I
you got a
right?
context.
That is the
All this
context.
time she's saying there was no context.
But
So
I
now-
know in Islam that context
Okay,
doesn't stand.
so let's-
That is a construct of the West. That is a
Okay, let him
construct of the
explain
West.
it to you.
Let's
And it's
read
not
it then.
right.
Let's
no,
read it.
I'm not interested because I know you're lying to me.
Suddenly,
I know, no.
you're
Give him a chance.
insulting someone's character.
No, I'm not.
Have
I'm
I
telling you- I'm
insulted
telling
your
you the
character
truth.
ever?
I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
I'm telling you the
Julie,
truth. I'm telling you the
Julia,
truth.
have I insulted you by saying you're lying?
You can do. I don't care. If I'm
Why should
lying, well,
We don't know you that well.
I would
should
take
I?
it. I would take it as an insult. If you thought I wasn't telling the truth, I would receive what you're saying and I'd
Julia,
go look it up.
Julia,
and I'd go, I would
Julia.
take it as an insult. I would take it as an insult.
You're finding it very difficult to deal with the truth.
It's not the truth.
Right, then.
Because it's not the truth.
Okay.
You're lying to me. I know you're lying to me.
If I read the text, I'm lying to you.
Because in the Quran, verses stand alone. I know Surah 9:5 stands alone. I know
Surah 9:5
I have
says,
it on the authority of many Muslims. I've got a Muslim in
No,
my
you said
church.
former Muslims.
I've got a Muslim in my church. You know, he lost
Muslim
an
goes to your
eye.
church.
your church.
Yeah.
Lies after lies after lies.
Ex-Muslim.
Ah, that's better.
Sure.
You know, and in Egypt.
And he's not lying, right?
he's proud, Hashim.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
think
lying.
he's not. Yeah,
you
I
believe
think
he's not lying.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
You have a good opinion of someone's character, but not me. But because you insulted my character, at least have the decency
Well, I told
in
you
a
the
civilized world.
I told you the context.
Decency. No.
I told you the context.
Give me the opportunity
Mansur,
to
just
tell
read
me.
it. Just read
Right.
it. Whether she likes
Now,
it
I
or
want
not,
you
just
to
I
read it.
told you the context.
Because we read the Bible, it's only fair we read the Quran.
Now, even verse
If she wants to go
5,
away, that's fine.
even verse 5 says, then when. That means there's a context here already. Before then.
No, you're lying. There is no context.
Continue, Mansur.
I know
Just
there's-
ignore her. Just continue. She's
I know
become a
there's-
troll now.
She's too scared.
Continue.
Why?
Scared.
Scared of the truth, yeah.
I'm not scared of the truth.
Why is it that?
You guys are scared of the truth.
Why
You are
is
very
it that?
scared.
Shouldn't be lying.
When
You're scared of the truth.
when I'm just reading 4 verses before and maybe 1 or 2 verses afterwards,
Yeah.
you're finding it difficult to digest the truth.
Because I know it's not the truth.
Okay,
Because I know.
Then
I've
you should be
researched
able
this.
to.
I've
Then
researched
you should be able to.
9:5 was Muhammad's last will and testament.
just read it,
It's the final. It's the final verse, and it's ordered that you guys.
It's not the final verse.
It is the final.
Okay.
Bit Muhammad gave you guys.
Freedom from all obligation. A declaration of freedom from all obligations from Allah and His Messenger to those of the mushrikun, the polytheists, with whom you make a treaty.
So there is a treaty. Thank you.
So here we find that God is annulling a treaty that was made between the mushrikun and who? Not you and I, the Muslims then. So it establishes one thing from verse 1. There was a treaty between them, Muslims and non-Muslims. And the,
pointless, brother,
excuse me, Julie, it's important to hear a different perspective. It's important to hear it.
I have loads of times.
You haven't heard Mansur.
One more.
You might learn
Right?
something.
One more.
Okay,
Trust me,
go
you
on.
will.
Right.
Okay, go
So
on.
you have here a statement that there was a treaty,
Yeah.
and God is saying the treaty is totally annulled.
Yeah.
And we know why, because just a few verses later, God does tell why the treaty is annulled, because they broke their treaty.
Yeah.
So there's no longer a treaty of what? This treaty was a treaty of peace between the two parties.
Yes.
So there's no longer peace anymore.
Yes.
What is then God is saying? So travel freely, O mushrikun, O polytheists, for 4 months. So God is giving them 4 months to travel free in the land, throughout the land, but know that you cannot escape from the punishment of Allah. and Allah will disgrace the disbelievers. So God has given them not 1 day of notice, 4 months after the treaty has been totally annulled. You're now back in a state of
Not
war.
true. Not true.
Doesn't
It's
matter
not
what
true,
you believe.
because
This
nine-
is history.
No,
History.
no,
Let
it's
me
not,
finish.
it's not. 9-5
So,
stands alone. Stands alone.
you know what? If you keep on believing this without examining the text, then every time you come across a Muslim,
It's a Western construct. Do you guys use that to make out
excuse me,
Islam's a
we
religion
believe
of
in
peace?
war too.
Too?
Yes, we believe in
You
war
mean
too. Is that a
two
Western
as
construct?
well? Jesus didn't teach war.
I'm not a Jesus
Only in the
follower.
Old Testament.
I'm
No,
a
I know.
follower of this
Yeah,
Quran.
exactly.
So now,
So
is this
Jesus
so
followers
me?
are not-
So me
not-
believing in a war is that a
Yeah.
Western construct?
It's an ancient construct. War.
It's the Quranic construct. So let's go back to the Quran. So here, 4 months are given them to travel
Yeah.
freely,
Yeah.
and then it says what? And a declaration from Allah and His Messenger to mankind on the greatest day that Allah is free from the obligation to the mushrikun, the polytheists, and so is His Messenger free from the obligations. So if you repent, the mushrikun, the polytheists, it is better for you.
It won't work.
But
is
if
that
you
what-
turn away,
Yeah.
then know that you cannot escape from God and give good tidings of a painful torment to those who disbelieve.
It won't
So
work.
clearly a declaration is made in a greatest day, not just treaties broken in silence, it was made public. So everyone knows the public declaration
But
of,
you-
please, annulment of a treaty.
But you don't believe that. You don't believe that.
Then,
You believe 9-5 stands
Let him
alone.
finish.
excuse me, then it continues. Except, what? An exception. Did you even know there was an exception?
Go on.
Before I go on,
No,
this
I
is
probably didn't, I probably
this is
didn't.
verse 4.
Okay.
Just how many
I thought you
thousand
looked at the treaty.
brother, how many hundreds of verses before? 1 verse before. Just the previous verse.
But it's still not. It's
Please.
still not seen as context.
Please.
You're not telling me the truth.
Excuse me. An
You don't
exception.
believe what you're telling me.
Excuse
You
me.
don't believe what you're telling me.
Excuse me. An exception. Except those of the mushrikun with whom you have a treaty and who have not subsequently failed you in might, nor have supported anyone against you. So fulfill their treaty to them for the end of their term. Allah loves the pious, the muttaqun. So now you have
I know this
this.
Surah 9-5 stands alone. I
Excuse
have
me.
it on good authority.
Julie,
context.
now you have
So
an
I don't
exception.
believe what you're saying.
Now you have an exception on this
Regardless.
treaty where there
I don't
were
believe what you're saying. I don't believe you believe what you're saying. I believe
Julie-
you believe that 9-5 stands alone. What's your name, by the way?
Mansur.
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 Mansur, the helped one. God helped.
one.
Helping. God is helping me. Mansur. Yeah? That's what it means. Now, as you realize, the exceptions are there. There are other groups of people where there was a treaty for a long term because they have not broken the treaty or committed wrong against the Muslims.
I'd love to
or not-
believe you, brother,
Excuse me.
but,
excuse
I think
me.
you have made up your mind, isn't
We
it?
are-
Regardless
I've
of what
been
he
told
says.
by many Muslims.
That's
We
why I'm saying
are-
you've made up your mind. So
We
you're
are reading the
close-minded.
text.
I
This
will-
text says,
You know what?
do not.
You know what?
Excuse me. This text says, fulfill the treaty until the end of their term. Some of them was more
I'm
years.
just giving it to you if you only listen.
Right.
Keep them open.
Okay.
I know.
You know what?
If I believed it had
So,
context, I would be listening to you. but I
Next.
don't believe it.
Okay. Verse 4 is gone. So there's an exception.
You know
Not
what, though?
everyone. I'm not finished yet. So
Now,
that's not
let me
everyone.
just say something. You know, I had this debate with somebody. It was only a week ago.
Verse 5.
About 2 weeks ago, very debate, and he stood here and told me what you're telling me, and I believed him. And I went back and I checked with loads of other Muslims, and I'm told
Ex-Muslims, you mean?
that
The ones in your
you're,
church.
Yeah, and well, they're not much. This guy's a Malaysian guy. He's got 3 passports on.
Doesn't matter, he's still an ex-Muslim.
Yeah, exactly. And they tell the truth.
So how can I
And
believe
they-
Julie when she consults
they-
ex-Muslims to know the Quran?
The Muslims.
Imagine I go and consult a Mormon to
Yeah.
read your born-again Christian Bible.
Yeah.
What will you tell me?
But
They are not Christians.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is Julie's
You are commanded to lie.
principle to listen to people,
Yeah.
just like
Because
Jasmine,
they tell the
to
truth.
go and consult
Because they
people who
tell
are
the
not
truth.
Muslims
You guys
to
are
learn
lying.
about the Quran.
You guys are lying.
Trust me.
I read. You guys are lying.
You don't even know me. How do you know I'm a liar?
Because the Quran tells you to lie. And
Where?
the hadiths, the
Right.
hadiths,
Oh,
the
now
hadiths,
the
hadiths.
you see now the hatred comes out.
Where does the Quran tell us
It is.
to lie?
It is. It is.
Excuse me.
I'm just telling the truth.
Julie-
By the way,
How's that hatred? How's
did
that
you not say? Did you not say the Bible manuscripts have no mistakes? Only a few of
No, I
them.
didn't.
It is on camera.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, half
The
of
Quran-
half
It is on
of
camera.
half of the mistakes. Only a few
Okay?
mistakes.
You said only a few mistakes.
You said no mistakes. Few mistakes. Yeah.
You said,
I'll expose
before we
you
go
in a
to
minute.
verse 5,
Give me a
the
minute.
Quran, you made a claim, the Quran commands us to lie, right?
Where is it?
You just said
The
that.
hadiths. The hadiths.
Okay, not the Quran. Okay, very good.
Even the hadith doesn't. Even the
She said
hadith
Quran,
doesn't.
but
No,
now
no, she said it is.
okay, hadith. Okay, we'll talk more hadith in a second. Verse 5.
But dear, you know, I
Julie,
can't
Julie,
be bothered. I can't
Julie,
be bothered.
we're now in verse
Guys,
5.
You know,
Verse
the
5.
trouble is you guys shoot yourselves in the foot because you're
Julie,
about your faith.
you are
It's very difficult
so
to stand here and
uncomfortable
whistle.
to read the text.
I'm just bored because I've read it before. I've read it to me loads of times.
I don't think you like reading
And
the
I
Quran,
only-
do you?
I don't mind. I